Warriors, rise. The Feds released a digital currency report. We've been waiting for this. So I'm going to break it down from my perspective with 12 years in banking and understanding digital currency at a deep level and how it's changing the whole system, specifically into the quantum financial system. My name is Coach JB. I am the top health, mindset, and crypto coach in the world. Remember, what you believe in your heart, you think in your mind, will eventually become your words and become your reality. If you can see it in your mind, eventually you can hold it right here in your hands. What you repeatedly do gets ingrained in your subconscious mind. What gets ingrained in your subconscious mind becomes an unconscious activity. And all these reports are just the little crumb trails that they're giving you, warriors, to getting you prepared. Warriors, the financial system has been being changed for a long time, warriors. Since 1971, since we detached from the gold standard. Was it going to be a cryptocurrency? They didn't know that back then, but they knew that they had to change our monetary system. You have to understand history and how it doesn't repeat itself, but it often rhymes. This has been planned out for a very, very long time. So these reports are just giving you the little nibbles or crumb trails to where they're taking you to. It's always, we're going to get the public's opinion, we're going to do this, but look at how much the sentiment has changed since 2019, 2020, 2021. Now, cryptocurrency, CBDC, stablecoins are one of the biggest topics in the government. Okay, so let's dive into this. So the money and payments, the US dollar, the age of digital transformation. So this report came out. This is the federalreserve.gov website. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to break it down from my perspective. Okay, so we're going to read two sections here. And then after I read the two sections, I'm going to break down the connections to cross-border payments and where I think it's going to end up. And of course, it's going to end up heavily with Ripple XRP. I still believe that the XRP Ripple SEC case is all by design. So this is reimagining challenges for the payment system. Okay, so this is on page 8. So while the existing U.S. payment system is generally effective and efficient, certain challenges remain. In particular, a significant number of Americans currently lack access to digital banking and payment services. Additionally, some payments, especially cross-border payments, remain slow and costly. Now, this is key. If you study history, wars, this has been a plan to get us on a one world economy for a very long time. Now, is this switch going to be the one world economy? No, but the closer you can get people to the central banks, the closer you can get them to the central banks, the more control you have. The more you move them from a intermediary like the commercial banks to the central bank, they have direct access to your funds, direct access to manipulate your currency. If they want to lower interest rates, they can lower the value of your currency right there in your bank account. So digital finance services and commercial banks money have become more accessible over time. An increasing number of Americans have opened and maintained bank accounts. Nonetheless, more than 7 million, over 5% of U.S. households remain unbanked. That's what they want right there, warriors. They want the 7 million of U.S. households banked. Nearly 20% or more have a bank account, but still rely on more costly financial services such as money orders, check cashing services. Okay, so they want all that cash that's floating around the monetary system to be inside of the system. Okay, so imagine how much money they can capture through taxes and keep this Ponzi scheme going. They're going to move it over to the crypto system, the blockchain. Right? They're going to use stable coins, right? Tether right now, every time Tether pumps, Bitcoin pumps. So the casino is just going to move over to the cryptocurrency space. And you have the opportunity to invest in the rails, okay? Just like they manipulated the oil industry when cars came out, you get to be the oil versus the cars, right? You're either going to be the consumer or you're going to be the person who invests in the rails the consumers are buying from, warriors. That's the only choice you have right now. You can get the money back, get it back to the people. That's the only choice you have right now. Okay, the train has left the building. Get on the train, grab the wealth, and then we can change the narrative. Because unfortunately, those who control the money, control the information, control the people. Okay, go into the Red Pill Boot Camp. Once we're done with it, we're going to relaunch it again. Highly recommend I break this down at a 30,000 word overview. Okay, so I want to break this paragraph down. This may be a longer video. And I'm going to show you the tie-ins to where we're heading. So it says recent improvements in the U.S. payment system had focused on making payments faster, cheaper, more convenient, and more accessible. Instant payments have been particularly active field of private and public sector innovation. You need to pay attention to these words right here. private, okay, if I can highlight this, private and public sector innovation. This is what we're talking about. The Ripple partnerships, okay, Algorand partnerships, XLM partnerships, private and public sector have to come together. They're working together behind the scenes. Whereas it's not going to be just some decision that's going to be made after the XRP case. This has already been worked on for a very long time. I worked in banking for 12 years. These switches don't happen overnight. They're slow, methodical, and the last people to know is the employees working at the bank. And then all of a sudden, it's a rush to get the switch to happen. For example, the clearinghouse has developed RTP network. We're going to dive into that, which is a real-time interbank payment systems for lower value payments. The Federal Reserve is also building a new interbank settlement services for instant payments, the FedNow service. We're going to break that down. Scheduled to debut in 2023. So FedNow service is already developed. I showed you guys the laws last year of that all federally chartered banks, thrifts, have to have a pass-through account. A pass-through account is a digital wallet account that your money can run through to the central bank. They have to have that, okay? So you're going to have a CBDC, a central bank digital currency wallet, however they set that up, okay? Then you're going to have a cryptocurrency wallet. And I guarantee within the next 5 years, you're going to be able to do a DeFi loan right there at your local bank. These instant payment services will enable commercial banks to provide payment services to household and businesses around the clock. Every day of every year, recipients gaining immediate access to transfer funds. The growth of these instant payment services also could reduce the cost of fees associated with certain types of payments. Okay, so we're going to focus on RTP and the clearinghouse. Okay, so we're going to go before we dive into that. So remember, write these down, RTP and clearinghouse, and I'm going to break that down for you. Okay, so this is in their documents. Now, this is nothing new under the sun. All the stuff they're talking about, it's just, I mean, they had this information. They just don't want to release it. So here's the digital asset section right here. And I would highly recommend you go read this. Technology innovation has recently unheard the wave of digital assets like money characteristics. These cryptocurrencies arose from a combination of cryptographic, and distributed ledger technology, which together provided a foundation for decentralization, peer-to-peer payments. Remember, MIT was working on cryptography, I think, in 1985, Warriors. Cryptocurrencies have not been widely adopted as a means of payment in the United States because why do you think that is? Because they fudded the shit out of you. They remain subjected to extreme price volatility and are difficult to use without service providers and have severe limitations on transaction throughput. Many cryptocurrencies also come with significant energy footprint. There's the narrative, and make consumers vulnerable to loss, theft, and fraud. That's complete bullshit. Even Bitcoin. A bank branch gives off way more energy and way more carbon footprint than Bitcoin ever could. Think about that, Warriors. It's all bullshit. It's a narrative to scare you. And the reason why it's slow to adopt in America is because we're programmed little sheep and our government has made us think that it's complete fraud. Stablecoins are the most recent incarnation of cryptocurrency that are pegged to the value to one or more assets, such as sovereign currency or commodities. Stablecoins paid in the US dollar are predominantly used today to facilitate trading of other digital assets. But many firms are exploring ways to promote stablecoins as widespread means of payments. Keep an eye on the stablecoin narrative, Warriors. They're just trying to figure out how to not lose the financial system and have a systemic collapse if we all went sovereign. But we're not going to go sovereign because 87% of the people are sheeps. 87%. Oh, there's only 13% of us. We researched this last night. 13% of us that are awake. That's it. So we're not going to change the 87%. All we can do is change our activities and bring the money back to the people and make the 87%'s life comfortable. That's all we can do, Warriors. You're not going to change 87% of people's minds unless they want to change their mind. You could show them all this stuff. You could show them and try to convince them cryptocurrency is not a fraud. They're not going to listen. They've been predictive programmed. The 1900 progressive era switch your medical system, your financial system, and your education system. Completely predictive program you to why we're experiencing and why we're so weak, why we don't stand up for ourselves, why we have so many men not raising their children. That's the pandemic. Okay, we'll go into that in another topic. Okay, a full discussion of stablecoins arrangements is outside the scope of this paper. However, the president's working group, The Group on Financial Markets, PWG, along with the Federal Deposit Insurance, the FDIC, and the Office of Currency Control, OCC, recently published a report on payments on stablecoins. This is all they're focused on. The PWG report notes that well-designed and appropriately regulated stablecoins could potentially support faster, more efficient, and more inclusive payments. Okay. Options. The PWG report also notes, however, that the potential of increased use of stablecoins as a mean of payment rises a range of concerns related to potential destabilization runs, the modern run on the bank, disruption in the payment system, and concentration of economic power. They're really putting this in here for you, Warriors. Let me read that again. Let this sink in how much they're fucking with you, okay? No wonder my videos don't get reach. Destabilizing runs, disruption in the payment system, and a concentration of economic power. So they're saying to you, hey, if we get you on stable coins and cryptocurrency, there's going to be a concentration of power. No, they're telling you we're trying to fudge you out so we can move the concentration of power to your digital currency. And guess what? We're going to gain more power. Okay. Now, again, who are they? You can sit there and argue this. You can resist it. You can do all the crazy shit. You can argue with people, or you can understand the game, not get played, get the money to the people yourself, and then change the narrative. That's the only thing you do. We're looking for people in society right now that can change the narrative. Somebody at some point created this system that we live in. Think about that. Another human being created the system that we live in right now. Okay. So those are the two things I want to. Okay, so now let's go back. Remember the two things I want you to write down: the RTP and the clearinghouse. Let's dive into the clearinghouse. Okay. So this is the Fed's report. This is the clearinghouse. I'd highly recommend you dive into the clearinghouse. But let's look some of their payments people. Okay. You got Bank of America connected to Ripple. We have Citibank, Bridge Community Bank, Commerce Bank. Huge banks here. HSBC, KeyBank. Some of the biggest banks in the world here. PNC Bank, Wells Fargo, US Bank. Remember, Bank of America is connected to Ripple. Okay, so this is the clearinghouse, which is in the report here where they're speaking about the new up-to-date up payments. Okay, you got RTP. Okay, RTP. Then we go here. Volante helps shape the future of payments. Volante to help shape the future of instant payments. Volante Technology is a global leader in cloud payments and financial messaging. Today announces their partnership and pilot program, Federal Reserve, upcoming instant payments with FedNow. We know this is in the FedNow report. But if we go back to the clearinghouse, okay, which is mentioned in the report, here's the participants, technology providers. Whoa, there's Volante. Volante is a partner of Ripple. Participants, Bank of America. Bank of America is a partner of Ripple. Volante is a partner of Ripple. So we go over here. We know what they're doing. Volante is going to be a big part of the FedNow, okay, which is going to be where your digital currencies are going to run through, which is going to allow you to have a digital wallet at a local bank. They have to have a pass-through account, okay? You got Volante Technologies, your trusted cloud payments modernization partner. Okay. They are all, they got the highest level of security, which isn't that interesting? They have the highest level of security. And if you go take a look at Ripple, they got some of that's interesting. They got some of the same high level of security. Interesting, Warriors. So this isn't all being done behind the scenes, getting you ready for the new global financial system. Look at this, Volante, Wells Fargo. These are your biggest banks in the world, Warriors. Citi, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, BNY Mellon. Whereas Goldman Sachs, they're saying, hey, they're the best. They're the best. Okay, check this out. All right, so Volante, cross-border payments, it's all about cross-border payments. You got Swift, GPI, Ripple, Visa, business-to-business, Visa Direct, and more. So you can dive through these websites. I highly recommend you read this stuff because that's why my brain picks this stuff up so fast. I study 8 hours a day. I also understand how to scale banks. I was in CBA Executive Banking School, okay? So we're going to end with this video here. So my whole point behind this was this is nothing new under the sun. They're not telling you anything earth-shattering. What they're showing you is they're giving you little breadcrumbs to guide you down a trail so you're not shocked when you get on your digital currency, and you're not shocked when all of a sudden they change the laws or they change the interest rates and they start deflating the money in your account. There's all kinds of things they can do, Warriors. So instead of complaining about it, let's be about it. So instead of complaining about it, let's do something about it. That's what our whole Warrior Academy is all about. People all over the world working together, like-minded, sharing ideas, conference calls, cryptocurrency courses, education, subconscious mind programming, goal setting, vision board creation. But some of you are still sitting on the sidelines. When you have all the tools and resources you need to be successful, click the description down below to join our free Facebook group and Discord or Academy. Now, we're going to watch this last video, and then we'll let you go for this Friday. Here we go.
From international trade to global e-commerce, our world has never been so connected. But business can only move at the speed of money. And today's traditional correspondent banking model is slow, expensive, and inflexible. To truly deliver modern cross-border payments capabilities, providing real-time 24/7 services with greater visibility to a wide range of customers, banks need to modernize the traditional correspondent banking model. However, because of legacy systems, the cost of innovation and regulatory compliance is high.
Okay, key. I've been telling you guys this for a long time. The old archaic banking system, SWIFT. These banks are in a really tough position. The three-way banks make money: interest income, capital markets income, and fee income. Okay. Things are becoming more convenient. People aren't walking into banks anymore. They're not going to need the banks anymore. They can do it on their phone. So if your cost of transactions are really high, you're losing fee income. People are not walking into banks anymore and grabbing loans. It's like an act of Congress to get in there. You have capital markets, which is stock market, trading. The stock market is about to collapse. So now you have a fee income collapsing, okay? You have interest income collapsing if interest rates go up, and then you have capital markets. So all three ways banks make money are getting collapsed. So they don't have the capital, or they will get bailed out, but they don't have the capital to innovate. So they have to, remember the keyword I told you to write down? Public and private sector. The public and private sector have to come together. Those are some of the cryptocurrencies you're invested in.
How can you modernize quickly and at low cost without compromising on the quality of your service offering? With Volante, Volante overcomes these challenges by enabling your bank to access a full range of always-on cross-border payment, clearing, and settlement mechanisms. Their cloud-native cross-border payment solution integrates easily with any core banking systems to deliver efficient, fast, and transparent cross-border payment services on multiple networks. From traditional SWIFT to GPI and SWIFT Go, plus Ripple, Visa B2B, and Visa Direct, MasterCard Send, and many more.
Okay, so let's take a look here. We got SWIFT, GPI, SWIFT Go, Ripple, Visa, business to business, Visa Direct, MasterCard Send. These are the top transactors in the world. Now, why is Ripple involved in this, Warriors? Their liquidity is insane, and the liquidity was by design, Warriors. This whole case is political theater. I guarantee they are all rubbing shoulders behind the scenes, Warriors. All rubbing shoulders behind the scenes. Jay Clayton, Bill Hinman, Gary Gensler, even Brad Garlinghouse. Who knows? He's probably rubbing. He's connected with the IMF and the World Economic Forum, Warriors. Those are the people that are changing your global economic system. Zero carbon. It's all a narrative. It's all a narrative to get you to believe in something outside of yourself. So again, who are they? Who's in affair? Who cares? Who cares? Imagine if you had an opportunity to invest in oil when it was first coming out, or Google or Apple when it was first coming out. And then you can take the money and you can do what you want with it, build schools, change the system, because unfortunately we created the system that money creates power.
Volante's service lowers your processing costs, so you'll be able to raise margins. You'll also be able to offer your customers better pricing on cross-border transactions and foreign exchange, while providing them with exciting new automated global payables and receivables solutions. The result? You'll increase your cross-border payments revenues, grow your market share, and be more competitive. So don't let the cross-border revolution leave you behind. Contact Volante to find out about their rapid cloud cross-border payments onboarding program.
I'm going to hit them up, start my own bank. All right, Warriors. So check it out. Here we are, 19 minutes in. You're still listening. You're a true warrior. Man, we've been talking about this for 2 years, Warriors, and it's just so clear to me because I know how the banks work. I know banks are stressed right now. I know banks are working to get rid of human capital and increase the fintech. Fintech is financial technology, talking ATMs. I know that companies are working towards releasing people and bringing in AI technology. So if you don't activate, Warriors, if you keep sitting on the sidelines, I promise you, I'm going to promise you something right now that you are going to regret this. Because what's happening right now, this stuff, these types of videos, like my YouTube channel, for example, there's not exciting stuff that I'm posting, Warriors. It's not XRP to 589. It's go look. My video that has one of the most views is XRP to 589. Why? Because we're addicted to dopamine. They know that. The reason why clickbait works is because they know that the sheep, if you click them, that we're like what do you call it? Like gold, like a fish hook. They know that we're fish hooks. If they can hook you with the gills, with the clickbait, boom, they can pull you any direction they want. That's why I've stayed consistent on not fudding, not trying to get just likes and comments, but educating the people on what is really happening with your monetary system. This is a mission to me, Warriors, to help people understand that you have a tool that you're watching right now. And that tool, you can watch pornography on it, or you can educate yourself about God, the Bible. You can educate yourself on financials, right? You can also do some really nefarious stuff. You can buy drugs on it. So it's not the tool, it's the user of the tool, Warriors. Again, it's not the technology, it's not the cross-border payments, it's not the CBDC, it's the user of the tool. It's not that you're rich makes you a bad person. It's what you do with the money that is given to you from a higher power or the abundance that you deserve. Boys, this is available for all of you. Somebody at some point created the monetary system. Some human being made a physical decision or made a decision within their mind and became a physical reality to control the monetary system. And you can make a decision right now to be the generational shift in your time. I plan on being talked about for generation. They're going to be saying nefarious things about me, Warriors, because they don't understand, and the story's going to get changed over and over and over and over again. But you got to build resilience. You got to build freaking shell skin, Warriors. You got to be like a ninja turtle, man, because this shit's about to get deep. And this is a warning to you, Warriors, to not be the person 10 years from now saying, oh, I had this opportunity. Oh, I heard this guy coach JV and man, he was right. And I'm not saying trust a word I say. This is so backwards. Don't trust a word I say. In turn, trust the feeling and vibration it creates inside of you and act accordingly. Let me say that again. Don't trust a word I say. Trust the feeling and vibration it creates inside of you and act accordingly and do something. Go research. Prove me wrong. That will help you educate yourself. Prove me wrong. And I would love to learn from you because I'm not the only, I don't know. I'm doing the best I can with the resources that I have in front of me and 8 to 9 hours of research a day. I don't stop and I'm not going to stop. All right, I'll get off my soapbox. I love you guys. I appreciate you. And if you're not in the Warrior Academy, shame on you. Click the link down below. Join the Warrior Academy. It will change your life. So you won't be on the person sitting on the sidelines saying, I should have, I would have, I could have. Stop shitting all over yourself and let's go.